Hey! To begin your journey on the Zen way, it's crucial to take the first step of understanding the three fundamental truths of Zen. The three truths of Zen are as follows: emptiness, provisional truth, and the simultaneous existence of the four possibilities. First truth, emptiness. The stream of thoughts should not be stopped. No bad habits should float the stream. No permanence should be examinable. The concept of a self should not be created. Second truth, provisional truth. An empty world can only be filled with charity. Embracing everything is possible through wisdom. Talking only about what does not exist is skill. A no teaching is taught through expedient means. Third truth, the simultaneous existence of the four possibilities. Having nowhere left to turn. Left and right become alike. A foggy reality is not different. Undifferentiated is the way. These are the three truths of Zen. The truths are so condensed that they enable practitioners to distill the essence of the teachings, which are considered as no teachings. These truths are so tightly packed that not even a single hair could fit between them, hence they are referred to as no truths. In this chapter, I will delve into the key concepts of Zen philosophy by expanding on some crucial points, providing valuable insights for a better understanding. Emptiness. This concept represents the idea that all phenomena, such as thoughts, emotions, and physical objects, lack inherent existence or permanent self-nature. Emptiness is not a state of nothingness but a state of being free from attachments and conceptual limitations. Attempting to halt the flow of thoughts is not conducive to seeing their emptiness. Since thoughts are a form of sensory input, one can acknowledge them, just as one can acknowledge sight or sound. Trying to suppress thoughts would only lead to further attachment, and prevent one from recognizing their impermanence and lack of inherent existence. Therefore, accepting thoughts as they arise without judgment is a key aspect of Zen practice. Once one has obtained fundamental wisdom, negative thoughts that flow endlessly in the stream of consciousness should gradually cease to arise. Through continued practice and realization of the emptiness of thoughts, one can eventually reach a state where no negative thoughts can be found in the river of the mind. Once one acknowledges that thoughts are an integral part of the river of consciousness and accepts them as they are, the stream flows smoothly without interruption from negative habits. With this realization, it becomes clear that the river of the mind is empty. This concept is illustrated by the old saying that one can never step into the same river twice. This saying implies that everything is in a constant state of flux, and that the river of consciousness is continually changing. The first truth of Zen, emptiness, is intended to guide the practitioner towards the ultimate objective of relinquishing the idea of a self. The self is the foundation upon which our personality is constructed. Recognizing that there is no distinction between the river and the self represents the first step towards attaining a more profound comprehension of our true nature. Since the river is empty, it is possible to grasp and accept that the self is also empty. Once this aim is embraced, one should also strive to see that the concepts of the soul, life, and being are all empty and unreal. Just as a real river cannot be poured into a bucket, and real wind cannot be contained in a bag, our teeth cannot bite themselves, and the mind cannot grasp itself. Provisional truth. The first truth of Zen aims to guide the practitioner towards the ultimate goal of abandoning the concept of a self, which is the cornerstone of our personality. To begin this journey, one must understand that there is no difference between the self and the river. The realization that the river is empty can help one grasp and accept that the self is also empty. This acceptance should then extend to the understanding that concepts such as soul, life, and being are also empty and not real. The emptiness of the river is just the first of the three truths. However, the emptiness alone is not enough to cross the river and see one's true nature. A boat is needed, and this boat is built by the charity of others who do not differentiate between the giver, the gift, and the recipient. Recognizing the emptiness of everything is also realizing that all things are interdependent and lack a distinct, independent self. Therefore, one can equate emptiness with fullness and fullness with emptiness, as they are two sides of the same coin. This is the essence of Zen wisdom. The bridge between the idea that everything is empty and the question of why one should bother, and the perspective that everything is connected, so that when one moves, everything moves, the bridging concept is compassion. To avoid falling into the trap of inaction or the opposite trap of only action, means having found the way. Staying on the middle way means, to talk without talking. To help without helping, realizing without anyone realizing anything. Staying on the middle way means, that a teaching always must be a no teaching. Talking always means that no one is talking, thus it is called no talking. And how is a teaching such as this taught? Out of compassion and through the creation of provisional truths and the utilization of expedient means, being skilled in tailoring teachings that can be understood by anyone who is suffering from delusion and seeking their nature is like giving someone a boat who is in dire need of crossing a river. The four possibilities. Once the river has been found and crossed with a boat, and the realization that everything is empty has been attained, one comes to understand that there is no opposite shore, and therefore no boat is necessary, as we can never be apart from our true nature. By skillfully avoiding the pitfall of falling into the emptiness by creating temporary truths as boats out of compassion to alleviate suffering, the fourth possibility serves as a reminder that there is no river, no boat. This is depicted in the picture as a river shrouded in dense fog that can scarcely be perceived. The four possibilities are a frequent reference when conveying the idea that there is no ground to stand on, no division into left or right, and no self without separation or distinction. All things exist simultaneously, just as they are. Therefore, the four possibilities serve as a useful means to scrutinize everything that can be apprehended in order to recognize that there is nothing to seize. Thus, what are the methods for examining what presents itself? The initial step of examining emptiness, for instance, is to perceive the commonality between emptiness and fullness. The subsequent step is to acknowledge the contrast between emptiness and fullness. The third step is to accept that it can be either this or that, either emptiness or fullness. The fourth step is to also accept that it can be neither this nor that, neither emptiness nor fullness. Grasping the concurrent presence of all four possibilities is beyond verbal depiction. Consequently, one can only talk about what is unreal. The foggy reality created by the four possibilities is distinct from the foggy reality experienced by a deluded person who clings to their constructed self. Yet, both are ultimately the same because enlightenment cannot exist without delusion. In the end, both are mere concepts. The true nature never changes. The river does not become a different river, the boat does not change of being a no boat, and the true nature of any seeker does not change. Everything just is, continuously. Undifferentiated is the way. Before we conclude, I would like to introduce myself to you. Hey. My name is Daniel, I am from Germany, thanks for listening to this lecture. Since the content of this video can be difficult to grasp at times, I've taken an unconventional approach. I've designed the video so that it can also be used as a printable document. This means that you can access and use it offline, or even print out selected pages. With this option, you can use your favorite pen to highlight, add to, or modify the text as you see fit. Now that I've shared my journey towards a simplistic lifestyle, I'm curious about your thoughts on it. How do you approach Zen? Do you have a specific practice or do you allow life to unfold on its own until you become more gentle with age? Please share with us your own experiences and insights. I am not sure when my next Zen art piece will arrive, but I know it will come eventually. It may not interest many people, but I will create it regardless. Obtaining the right paper for my Zen art required a lot of effort, including working with mushrooms. However, the time I spend with mushrooms is minimal compared to the time I devote to Zen. Before we end, I would like to offer my empty bowl to you. I did put a lot of work into this lecture series. I hope you enjoy it. Maybe you want to consider to buy me a coffee? I do mention this unintentionally. There is a serious reason behind it. That is why I ask. Balance is present in all aspects of life, such as summer and winter, day and night, hot and cold, and more. Taking and giving is also a polarity that requires balance. Only when there is balance can we achieve true happiness and harmony. Therefore, if you take something, such as information from the internet, it is important to give something back. Take a moment to assess if your life is in balance. If you feel inclined, you can show your support by making a donation, and I would be grateful for it. However, there are many other worthwhile projects that you can support, such as Wikipedia. Support doesn't have to be monetary either, it can be as simple as sharing a smile or leaving a kind comment. Let's spread joy and love wherever we go. Thank you for spending your time with me. Auf Wiedersehen.